What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale figure review. Today I will be reviewing the Present Toys 1/6 scale Anton Chigurh, or Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, played by Javier Bardem. I've been waiting for a good version of this character for a long time. There have been multiple third-party variations, and with all of them, I wasn't quite happy with the head sculpts. This one looked a lot better than those, so hopefully that is the case when we open it up today. But let's take a look inside that art box and see how everything arrives to you inside the packaging. Now, inside our packaging, we do have two foam inserts. There's the figure and all the accessories included with it. Not much, as you could see, but now let's take the figure and all the accessories out of the packaging and let's take a closer look at all of the details. Starting us off, you do have 4 extra hands included with this set. And as we get closer, you could see the paint apps are decent. They're not the best I've seen from Present Toys, but they're certainly not the worst. You do have some layering detail in that paint, some speckling, some pinkish hues by the knuckles. Not bad, just not their best work in my opinion. And here we have our display base. As you can see, it does come with this crotch grabber here. It's very basic. It's just a sticker on top of a black display base. However, I think it looks cool enough, and it's funny that Present Toys is bold enough to use the actual name of the film on the stand. We actually only have one firearm included in this set, and that is Anton's suppressed shotgun. And if you guys have seen the film, this thing is just absolutely menacing. Whenever you hear the sound of that suppressor, you know something's going down. But as you can see, there's some decent details there on the stock. The paint apps are relatively flat, nothing too impressive. You can actually reciprocate the charging handle here, which is pretty cool. The suppressor is actually pretty nicely painted. It's pretty convincing as a real metal color, but not bad at all. So if you've seen the film, you know that this is that little cattle prod thing that he steals from the back of the farmer's truck. And what surprised me a lot about this accessory is this actually raw die cast. It's very heavy. You can listen to this little front needle part. Yeah, that's pure metal, both parts. And because of that, it looks very realistic in person. I will say I do worry that the figure can actually hold this properly because it is very heavy. I guess that remains to be seen, but I will say it does look very good. Now, this is the last of our accessories, guys, and I don't know if this is a recast because it is third party, but I will say I think the likeness to Javier Bardem is actually very good. As you could see, the wrinkles and everything in the face. We'll get even closer. That little sinister smile is just so creepy. I think this is a very good choice for an alternate head sculpt. As we move it around, though, I will say the paint apps on the hair, pretty bad in my opinion. You could see it just doesn't look realistic. It looks very flat. The paint apps on the sculpt look slightly better than that of the hands. It looks like they focused a little bit more on this. Overall, I love the expression. I think the head sculpt's pretty dang good. The paint apps, especially on the hair, could be a little bit better though. But without further ado, guys, let's grab the actual figure and let's see what we think of the Present Toys Anton Chigurh. Now here we are with Anton Chigurh, guys, and as you can see, even from far back here with that default head sculpt, I think it looks very much like Javier Bardem. I think they did an awesome job there. I will be honest with you, as I was taking it out of the box, I noticed a couple things that I wasn't too happy about. So let's get a bit closer up so I could show that to you. So as you can see, again, the sculpt looks pretty good. I don't think the tailoring looks bad at all, as you can see. I think the proportions are pretty okay. What I don't like, as you get even closer, you could see those big, obnoxious white buttons. And I'll get even closer so you could see on my personal copy, on multiple buttons there's like paint missing on them. Not too happy about that, especially because it's on the front. It definitely looks pretty goofy. But let's get closer up on that default head sculpt. I think this one is very good as well. Again, I would not be surprised. You guys can let me know in the comments if these are recast or not, because they are just that good. I feel like they probably are. But for all intents and purposes, I think they look pretty good. Same case on the hair on this one. I don't think it's painted very well. The jacket looks pretty nice. Again, those white buttons, I don't know how accurate they are because I honestly haven't studied the outfit for this particular character, but I just think they look a little goofy and out of place. I just don't know. And I'm a bit disappointed that the paint is missing on some of those. There is some nice layering on this figure. However, you can see the button down shirt there underneath. There's some weird marks there on the pockets. I don't know what that's about, but it is tailored pretty well and stitched pretty well. And as you can see, the jacket is stitched very well also. I'm not too sure if this is a real leather belt or not. Present Toys has been trying to use real leather lately, so hopefully that's the case. pre-installed on the figure. You do have two like kind of grasping hands. They are relaxed, but they're more grasping. Again, the paint apps on the hands, they're just okay. In terms of the tailoring on the pants, not too bad. I think it looks decent. What I was curious about are the cowboy boots, and it looks like they do run all the way up the leg. I was hoping that was the case because they are full-length cowboy boots in the film. They look pretty nice. There's actually some variation to the paint as I move it. You can see that there. But that's pretty cool that they actually went all out and gave you a full-size boot, because sometimes they skip out on that. Looking at the soles here, hold up. Am I crazy, or did I get two right boots? That to me looks like they're both on the same side. Give me 1 second, let me investigate this further. Okay, so I definitely got two right boots. As you guys can see when I flip it to the front, that's two right boots. So definitely a bit unfortunate. This seems to have some pretty bad QC. Another thing I wanted to show you while I'm pointing that out, let me move the arm out of the way. The leg basically is broken. Like, it won't hold any sort of pose whatsoever. It just falls back down. Forward it's fine because it does have some ratchets, but that side to side is really loose. So I imagine he'll probably have some issues standing. I'm not really going to go through the posability because my body obviously is compromised at this point. I've got two right boots, a leg that's not working properly, so we'll just call this body definitely an L. And there's a lot of QC issues on this figure, guys. It's a bit unfortunate because I've been waiting for this one for a while. So let me throw him in a pose. We'll close out this video and I'll share my final thoughts. Well, guys, this video surely took a turn for the worse towards the end. Definitely some disappointing stuff there with the QC issues. You know, I had the issue with the leg. I have the two right boots. It's clear as day here as you watch him spinning on the turntable. When you see him spin towards the front, you could see very clearly that there's two right boots there. I had a bit of tunnel vision behind the camera, so I wasn't sure if I was being crazy or not. I'm for sure now he does have two right boots. So that's a bit unfortunate. Also, like, basically all of those little white buttons on his coat, the paint is missing off of them or it's scratched. Just a lot of weird QC issues. I'm surprised that there's no issues with the paint on the hands or the head sculpt. I do think overall the figure looks pretty good. I think both of the head sculpts are very good. Again, I would not be surprised if they were recast. I will say, as I was throwing him in this pose here, I noticed there is literally no way to get him to properly hold the little cattle prod thing. I know that's not the real name for it, but I don't know the correct term for it. You could shove it in one of the opposite side gun holding hands, but it won't sit right. You really have to cram it in there. So that's another bit of an unfortunate thing. I really wanted to throw him in the pose with kind of the shotgun dangling by his side and the cattle thing in the other. But it just wouldn't work out. So that's another thing I want to point out. Definitely a bit unfortunate. Guys, sorry to be so negative on this one. I was just really let down because I love this character, love this film, and this is not the definitive Anton Chigurh. So I'm going to have to do some work on this one. Those white buttons definitely have to go. I did look at some photos in between filming. They're definitely silver in the film, so got to make some changes there. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How was your copy if you picked up this figure, or if you were going to pick this one up, did this sway you away from picking it up? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. See ya.